Yeah, a little bit sour, a little bit of sweet, a little bit of strong, a little bit of weak, and a little bit of spice to make it all nice, right?
This is what makes you the Kanye West of cocktails.
Yeah, because I'm rapping about cocktails.
Cocktail culture has found a foothold on Long Island in recent years. We sought out 4 bartenders who are changing the way you drink. Ashley, the new kid on the block. Jonathan, the self-dubbed Kanye West of cocktails. Tracy, the pioneer of women. And Frank, the godfather of LA's cocktail movement. First, we head to Revel in Garden City, where 21-year-old Ashley McDonald showcases a refined palate.
We're at Revel.
Yes, we are.
Show me what you got.
All right, so today, let's make a rosemary gin fizz. Being 21, I have definitely ran into some customers that aren't very thrilled about my age or will underestimate what I can do. When it comes to muddling, you want to be really as rough as you can without breaking the glass. And then through here, just going to pulverize the ginger.
Great. This way the ginger won't come smack me back.
Exactly.
How do you do this without breaking the glass?
I had a customer a couple weeks ago order a martini, and I asked him, oh, okay, would you like it shaken or stirred? He's like, is there a difference? It's like, there is. And he's like, how old are you? I'm like, 29. He's like, so what do you know? It's like, all right. So when you shake a martini, you're gonna lose some of the flavor because it's going to become so cold that you're going to lose the flavor of the vermouth, of the vodka, or the gin that you're drinking. When you stir it, you take a little bit extra time, those flavors are going to burst and you're going to taste each thing in the martini. After this, he actually apologized and he said, thank you very much, because I would have continued to order martinis throughout the rest of my life and I would have never known the difference. All right, so from there, we're gonna do a nice 2 count of lemon juice. 2 count of simple. Right, and then we are going to use Benham's gin, which is a lemon Meyer gin, so it's a little bit sweeter.
I have never had a lemon Meyer gin.
Well, you are in for a treat. I'm gonna do a 4 count.
What does that mean, a 4 count? Ready? I'm gonna do it. You tell me when I'm at 4. 1, 2, 3.
Perfect.
That's it?
Yep.
Stop?
Natural bartender. I feel actually, the more I've gone out and the more places I've tried, that there are a lot more female bartenders than people might realize. I know the culture, it used to be, it was always like a man's job, and it was always an older man's job too. And there's still places that you go now and you'll come across the older men bartenders. But I actually think that females are slowly taking over the scene a little bit. With Revel, we are an upscale new American with some Greek touches. Here we're really trying to market ourselves as a cocktail bar. I think that we're headed in the right direction. Our past round of cocktails have definitely stepped it up, and we have some new things in the works for the new menu that will come out in April. So we're trying to work with things that will set us aside that you're not going to really be able to find at other places on Long Island. You really will only come across this stuff here.
Okay, we're shaking this one.
Yes, the glass is always going to go on top.
All right.
2 hands.
2 hands.
Over your shoulder. Hard as you can. So it's going to be a little short, that's on purpose. So what we're going to do is top it with a splash of club soda.
Okay.
And then a splash of tonic water.
Ooh.
And then from there, it's going to get beet pearls. You're going to have to taste them. They're absolutely delicious.
It's like caviar almost.
And then it is going to get a sprig of rosemary. Now, as you can see, as you mix the drink around, the beet pearls bleed into the drink.
Yeah, I was going to just say, I love the way that red just sort of bleeds into the drink. I also love that you have that rosemary on ice. Why do you put it on ice?
To keep it as fresh as possible. Actually, when you put rosemary into water, it absorbs too much of the water, and then the shelf life decreases.
Okay.
But when you have it on ice, you can keep it cold and fresh. Cheers to you.
Cheers.
Excellent bartender.
Mine's probably a little on the strong side. I think I went a little heavy-handed on the gin.
It's never a bad thing. How is that?
Very good. Well balanced. Boozy.
So most people who don't drink gin, what I would definitely do is educate them on lemon Meyer gin.
Right.
Most people see gin as more of a bitter drink, but the lemon Meyer really gives the little sweetness, and the beet pearl helps to bring out the flavor of it.
Next, we meet Jonathan Gonzalez at Blackbird in Wantagh, who geeks out over cocktails and loves the science behind drinks.
Well, on my birth certificate it says Jonathan, but on my resume sometimes it says the Kanye West of cocktails. I think it all started as a kind of an inside joke. At the time, Kanye was doing super big. He was making these hits one after the other, and I kind of felt the same way with a lot of drinks I was making. I want to take something that's very familiar, very simple, but I just want to elevate it to the next level. I started off working with my dad. He was the one who kind of brought me in and said, listen, this is like the hard knock life, and it's going to knock you around a little bit, but you're going to make some really great money, you're going to meet some great people. You got the industry bug. It bites you and it latches onto you and digs under your skin and stays with you forever. And after that, I just wanted to know everything. You know, I wanted to be a busboy, I wanted to be a bar back, I wanted to be a dishwasher. The best part about it was behind the bar, day one, not knowing anything I was doing, and then just falling in love with it, because you just make people happy. And you see people flirt with each other, people fight with each other, but it's human interaction at its best, and it's like first-hand accounts of it. And they're all your stories that you have to keep forever. Well, we're going to do the Lilyhammer 94. We're going to do a split base. Basically, I'm combining 1 ounce of one spirit and 1 ounce of the other. The two spirits we're going to combine are aquavit and rum. Oat milk has been very popular with baristas lately. Basically, I'm taking oats, water, a little bit of flaky salt, and I'm blitzing it in a blender for a few seconds. Like
So you're making your own oat milk?
Got to make your own. Somebody didn't show up to work, and my manager looked at me and said, listen, you've been wanting to do this for a while. Go for it. I was making vodka sodas, and they were the worst vodka sodas known to mankind. I picked up a couple books, like the typical bartender's Bible you find behind every bar, and I started studying them. One of the things that your teachers tell you, hey, you gotta master math before you leave high school, no one pays attention to, it's true, because everything behind a cocktail is all math. This part is going to be a little more dainty. We're doing just a 1/4 teaspoon of Amaro Sumanto.
What's up next?
Okay, fermented honey. Fermented honey is literally what you think it is. It's honey syrup that's been fermented. Typically, a bartender would throw it away and say, oh man, this is being spoiled, but pharaohs used to use it on the mummies, used to use it to heal wounds. Fresh lime juice, super important. 4 hours old, moderately pH balanced, and we're doing 3/4 ounce. The other thing I'm obsessed about is clarity of ice. I work with an ice company, and they deliver ice to me, and from that ice, I break down these beautiful blocks. You know, all these bartenders around the country were using beautiful lake ice, crystal clear lake ice. But once we hit automation, you have, you know, the machines making ice for you, you kind of like lost that art form. And it just looks super cool. You have like a crystal clear spirit, and then you have a crystal clear ice cube, and it's like they're meant for each other. We're gonna do a cradle method. This is a Japanese cradle method. No drink is complete without its dress, so let's dress this up. Bouquets are made of organic flowers and also lavender from East Marion, from Lavender on the Bay.
Okay.
This is our last drop. Just gonna lay it there, let it hang out. A lot of people are my age now, who are opening bars, running bars, working in bars, and we see what our brothers and sisters are doing in the city, and how come we can't have that? And I think that drive, that passion for it, is what's really pushing a lot of people my age to do something radical. To Lilyhammer.
To Lilyhammer. Oh man, that is amazing.
The most important thing is balanced. And that's where I strive to do with all my drinks. I want to have a balanced drink that says, here are all the flavors, but it's not going to beat you up.
For a throwback, we're off to the Rail, a brand new bar in Smithtown where Tracy Johanna brings her culinary pass to her cocktail menu.
I prefer flavor artist or cocktail chef or bartender. Any of those would be better than mixologist. I know that myself and a lot of my colleagues, we've all come kind of from the same place. You start out serving beers and shots, and you definitely learn along the way. But there's something about that word that just really irks me and most people that I know.
Tracy walked me through making her latest concoction, the Rusty Rail. It's a play on the rusty nail, with accents of citrus and my personal favorite, Aperol.
So we're going to do 1.5 ounces of this Cutty Sark blended Prohibition whiskey. 1.5 ounces is that little line right there.
All right.
Okay.
I can handle that.
All right.
Here we go.
There you go. Craft beers, were, on the rise. And I think that there's still doing really well, but I think they're plateauing, and I think craft cocktails are really coming up and kind of moving into the spotlight right now. Long Island is starting to make their way more into the craft cocktail scene. The bartenders on Long Island have been kind of subdued by the palate of the majority. I think that we were really stuck in a vodka soda kind of place for a very long time. We're trying to pull everybody with us, you know what I mean? Come over here, check this out. This is really cool. All right, so then we're gonna put our whiskey aside.
All right.
And we're only gonna do 1/4 of an ounce of this Drambuie because this is super sweet, and we're also gonna be putting in another sweet element in a second. So you don't wanna overwhelm your drink with too much sweetness, too much sugar. Female bartending has carried a very negative connotation with it for a very long time. It's kind of a prerequisite that you dress scandalously or that you flirt with your customers and you really don't know a whole lot about what you're making, which can be very intimidating to girls who want to move forward in the industry. It's a very male-saturated industry, but I'm really hoping that that changes a little bit. So now we're going to do 1/4 of an ounce of Aperol, and that's got a nice bitter orange flavor to it. There you go.
This is one of my favorite spirits.
All right.
So what's next?
All right, next we're going to throw in some pineapple juice.
Ah.
And we're going to do 1.5 ounces of pineapple juice, just like that. And you're going to notice when we get this all done, it's going to have that rusty color. With balance, you definitely want to hit on as many flavor notes as you can, carrying somebody through a journey when they're drinking a cocktail. You want to hit on the sweet and the sour and the salty and the smoky and the spicy and the bitter, and all of these things need to happen in like a particular order. It's like a cocktail journey, and you want someone to be able to identify all those different flavors when they're drinking your cocktail. That's what makes it interesting, and if people are interested, they're going to come back and continue to drink. All right, and then we're going to burn this just a little bit.
Ooh.
Flame that. Well, it's going to help release some of that oil in the orange. You're going to express the oils over the cocktail, and you're going to rub it around the rim of the glass. It's going to give you a nice
I can feel the oils in my finger.
Orange oil flavor when you're taking a sip of this cocktail. And then you're going to take a little sprig of rosemary.
Ooh, I like rosemary.
And that's it, pretty much. Cheers.
Cheers. You can get in trouble with these. I saw how much booze we put in these. I don't taste that much booze in these.
It's good, right?
Yeah.
We finished with Frank Antonetti at Rustin Gold in Huntington, who likes to know your spirit before he makes your drink.
My first experience bartending, oddly enough, came in high school. I ended up serving mixed drinks and like beers and stuff, which in retrospect is a little weird to me. Everyone just loved that part of the party. Everyone loved the bartender, which was cool for me because not many other people in high school enjoyed me a whole lot. So that was nice to just be able to bribe people to like me with alcohol. So today we're gonna make my current rum cocktail. This is the first cocktail that I've used here that uses a shrub. As I stopped naming my cocktails, people kind of want to step into the waiting pool with their favorite spirit first, or at least a spirit that they think is their favorite, you know. Here, my seasonal list is always just by spirit. There's no name to the cocktail. My whiskey cocktail is called whiskey, you know. So the challenge is kind of like, you know, get them in the door with whatever their spirit they see on a menu and are most comfortable with, and then challenge them a little bit with maybe a different approach to that spirit. So we're using Denizen aged white rum. We're also going to throw in a little bit of lime juice and a little bit of fresh agave nectar as well, just to kind of waken it up and round it out. Now I'd say it's like a 50-50 split between people that are ready to just try anything and really get out there and embrace a more progressive cocktail culture, and 50% people that are just very happy with, you know, coconut martinis and their lychee everything. There you go. It's all right if you make a mess. The trick to this is really packing it in there super tight because it's going to keep the drink colder. It's going to prevent it from diluting a lot quicker. My approach is like just a healthy dose of completely doubting myself every single day. Complete anxiety that I'm going to be found out to be a fraud. That's not a reality. I study and I've put my diligence in, and I've tried and failed a million times. But I always see people around me, and it still doesn't seem real to me. But I never let myself get comfortable, I guess is the best way to put it. And last but not least, I want to add a different layer of color to this. So we're going to take these beautiful dried marigold leaves, and we're just going to kind of sprinkle them on top. You're always going to kind of sacrifice a few to the party gods. Right now, there's so many of us that know each other, whether it's we've worked together in the past or we've visited each other at these restaurants, and it's great, but the sharing of information was happening at such a slow rate for such a bunch of people that have so many cool ideas. So I thought, well, one of the best ways that I've seen ideas get shared in that kind of environment are a lot of the competitions that you see happening in the city or a lot of other areas where there's more close-knit cocktail communities.
The Long Island Bartender League is a growing network of bartenders on the island, aimed at supporting and learning from each other. The group holds regular competitions that force creativity, while providing a space for weary drinkers to try drinks outside their comfort zone.
Thank you everyone for coming tonight. We're very happy to have you. Thank you to Hush for having us. Such a good mixture of joking around, supporting each other, having each other's backs. Every day people are sending like drinks in and we're all offering our input on how to tweak it and our ideas on it. And then the competition is just kind of like more of an organized meetup. For me, it's the least I could do to bring back to an island and a community and a environment that's already given me like so much and made me so happy and so fulfilled in what I do. And plus, it's a good opportunity to just make fun of everybody, you know?
What was once a vodka and soda island is growing into a creative cocktail culture that shows no signs of stopping. Thanks to this new class of trailblazers, it's easy to see how nightlife is changing on Long Island.